here comes Washington and New York at it again. Look, it's not everybody in New York and Washington. Of course, I lived in those two cities. There's a lot I love about them. But when you talk about Wall Street and how they've completely bought our Congress, it's not even close. It's absolutely true. And I got another perfect example of it. You know how we did Dodd-Frank? It was a tiny bit of financial reform. Not much, but it had a couple of helpful things in there, which, by the way, they have never implemented to this day. For example, the rule on derivatives. Now, what I've been screaming about for the last, 5 years is the number one problem was derivatives. It's not that we got a couple of housing market bets wrong. It's that we multiplied those bets by 100, by 1,000 because of these wild bets that they make through derivatives, right? So now Dodd-Frank said, hey, listen, go ahead, keep making your derivatives bets, but I'd like to basically know a couple of things, one of which is, can you please not use FDIC money, depositor money backed by the American taxpayers, to make those bets? So it's a tiny bit of change, but good change. Never implemented so far, and now here comes Congress. House Financial Services Committee voting on whether they should repeal that part of Dodd-Frank. Say it with me. Of course they're going to repeal it. And now you say, look, the Republicans are going to be on that side. Of course, they're pro-banker 100%, right? And in fact, in the committee vote, literally 100% of the Republicans voted with the bankers to deregulate the most dangerous financial product that they have, right? Now, how about the Democrats? And you see, this is what a lot of people don't know. A lot of Democrats make the mistake of thinking that their Democratic representatives at the federal level represent them. No, they don't. They also work for the banks. 22 out of the 28 Democrats on that committee said, oh, yeah, let's deregulate. In fact, it was led by Jim Himes, who's a Democrat from Connecticut. Northeast Democrats should be liberal, right? Former Goldman Sachs executive. He led the charge. One more time. Of course! So let me read you the description of what this bill does. The legislation would repeal several sections of the 2010 Dodd-Frank Wall Street reform law targeting derivatives, the complex financial transactions at the heart of the 2008 banking collapse. Lovely, wonderful. Doesn't that seem like a great idea? And then another bill, and they've got 3 different bills here they're pushing at the same time. Another bill in the deregulatory package would exempt derivatives traded between different subsidiaries of the same company from the new transparency rules. These inter-affiliate swaps are often used in complex offshore tax avoidance schemes. Fantastic. Let's start more tax avoidance schemes because the corporations aren't robbing us enough. The amount of taxes they pay has been dropping like a rock through the decades, but no, they need one more offshore tax avoidance scheme. Great, just hand it to them, Democrats and Republicans alike. Another bill approved by the committee on Tuesday would exempt foreign offices of U.S. banks from many U.S. rules. Great. U.S. rules and regulations, who needs them? Now, why is that one so important? For example, AIG, that was an insurance company that blew up and had the backdoor deals with the banks, and we wound up paying those banks 100%, even though we never should have. Well, where was their main affiliate who did all that trading? It wasn't in the U.S. It happened to be in the U.K. They had this trader called the London Whale, and he made all the trades. So under this new bill, they'd be allowed to do that same exact trick again. Yeah, that only crashed the economy and lost us about 8 to 9 million jobs last time. Yeah, why not allow that again? I mean, look at the madness. The minute they think you're not looking close enough, they're like, yes, let's do it again. Let's do it. Let's do more derivatives trading and just get rid of all the rules and regulations. One last point here. They say the most controversial bill advanced on Tuesday would expand government backing for derivatives by allowing banks to sell them from their taxpayer-insured divisions. So that's a double screwing. Not only are we going to let them do the wild trading with no rules, and by the way, we're getting rid of the transparency within the banks, which was another thing that Dodd-Frank was trying to do. But on top of that, if they lose money, whose money are they going to lose first? Their money? Oh, hell no. Even their creditors or the debtors' money? Oh, hell no. No, they're going to lose your money first from the taxpayer-insured divisions. But don't worry, on the committee, both the Democrats and the Republicans assured us, no, that would never happen again. There's plenty of money in the FDIC, and I'm sure that if there's another crash, we won't have to resort to it or the taxpayer money on top. Oh, right. And by the way, look, one piece of good news is that Jack Lew, who's the new Treasury Secretary, apparently is not as despicable as Timothy Geithner and is against these provisions and against these changes of Dodd-Frank. That's good news. So theoretically, the president could veto this if it made it through the Senate. Now, it's very likely to make it through the House. And so at the end of the article that I'm quoting from, they said, well, so it's not likely to pass. Wrong again, Bob. The last time they did deregulation in 2010 was in the Jobs Act. That had nothing to do with jobs. It had to do with deregulating Wall Street again. Same exact pattern. Overwhelming bipartisan support in the House, and then all of a sudden nobody filibustered in the Senate. Oops. The one time there's no filibuster, it was a pro-bank bill and an anti-taxpayer bill. Oops, how did that happen? And then the president, what did he do? He signed it. Of course he did. So wait for it. For the moment being, the Obama administration is against this, but wait for it, because there they go again.